Many people have never studied for a math test because they simply don't know how. Every day, before the test comes, you should be in class and stay after when you're absent. Missing only one day of class puts you seriously behind. Do the homework before it's due and ask questions when you get a problem incorrect. If you're very confused, come in for extra help. And lastly, you can talk about math or all of your subjects in everyday life. The more you can use the vocabulary terms and apply the concepts we're learning in class to everyday life, the more you'll remember. But let's say you've got a test coming up soon. We can take a look at this, the studying cycle. We start by determining what you know and what you don't know. A sports coach never starts practice without knowing what to work on with their players. They may hold tryouts and pickup games to determine what they need to work on. Math is no different. Try your study guide or practice problems with no help and no distractions. Practice as if you were taking the test. Time yourself. Don't use headphones. No television. Work all the way through a worksheet or a packet and don't stop. If you can't finish a problem, do as much as you can, then circle it and move on. Use flashcards for vocabulary, use online practice, or any other technique that works for you. Be able to write down definitions for all the vocabulary terms. The point of all of this is to work through all the problems individually by yourself before going for help and to treat it just like you were taking the test. Remember, practice like you perform. The second step is to learn what you don't know. In sports, we have coaches to help us and drills for practice. We need to consistently and consciously think about where we're moving, what we're doing to get better. Again, math is no different. So, check the answer key, correct your mistakes, and determine what you don't understand. Then, get help. You could ask a friend, a teacher, you can check your notes, you can look online or past notes or assignments. Jot down notes on how to do the problems or mistakes that you're making. Write down notes on the vocabulary terms that you don't understand. Once you understand the problem, do a few more just like them as drills. And don't stop until you understand the problem conceptually. In this step, it's important that you're working with other people. You've already tried to do what you can. Now, get help. Work with a partner or the teacher, but this is working cooperatively in this step. Third, give it some time. Wait. Let yourself forget about the specifics of the problems. Doing the problems right after you've learned them will give you a false sense of security. Students often say, I could do this with the teacher, or I could do it before, but on the test I forget, or could you just give me a little hint and then maybe I'll remember? So give yourself some time. What you have in front of you is what we call Ebbinghaus's forgetting curve. Ebbinghaus was a psychologist that worked on things like memory and retention. He showed that if you just learn something once and then wait a few days, after 1 hour, you've already forgotten half of what you've learned. And after a day, you only remember 25% of what you've learned. But with regular review, you can continue to remember what you've learned days, weeks, and even months into the future. So don't try the problems right away. Go ahead, take some time. Take a nap, go to another class, have dinner, talk to some friends, whatever you gotta do, but try again soon. Once you've given yourself some time, now you can go back and determine what you know and what you don't know again. Just like before, treat this as if you were taking a test. Go all through all the problems by yourself, and don't stop. Don't stop to look at the answer key, don't stop to look something up, just see how much you know. Hopefully, you've learned more from last time and you're getting more of this right. The key to studying for math tests is to go back and forth between working individually and seeing what you know and practicing, and working with a teacher or looking at the answer key or with friends working cooperatively. Just studying by yourself or just studying with a teacher and looking at the answer key is not the way to go. You need to go back and forth until finally you're ready to take the test. So you take your test and you see how you did. If you've done well, fantastic, then you studied pretty well for yourself. If not, remember, we use standards-based grading here. So you can always go back once you've checked the test and learn those things that you didn't know before. Then continue to use the cycle, going back and forth between testing yourself and learning back and forth until you feel ready to take the test again and retest. This studying cycle works for many students, and I hope it'll work for you too.